Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the weekend. Boy, you already know it's time for Lights Out, episode 57, brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, download the app today and use code Lights Out for your first deposit match of up to $100, okay? And consider checking us out on Patreon because we've stopped being so lazy. You know, within the last 2 weeks, we've put out 2 episodes every single week, and we're recording more content at MomoCon. It's the best time to support Lights Out on Patreon. I'm telling you, we actually out here in these streets. And of course, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast. You gotta make sure you're dropping those likes and stuff like that. It helps us out a lot. What's that back talk I hear, Cosmos? Turn down your system.
Oh, shit, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear me. I hear my loud, seductive, sultry voice. It's true. I don't hear it anymore. All right, we're good.
You said it now.
All right, we're good now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to welcome you here. If you're watching live, you know we were talking to Light earlier. He's driving, but he will be here for next week for the big GOML recap episode. So we will get your daily dose of Light and maybe the tournament winner too, depending on whom it is. But you got EE, you got Cosmos, and we got some things to talk about for sure. I want to start first with the fact that you, Cosmos, you actually won an event. I don't mean like actually like I'm surprised.
Dude, was that event wasn't ranked or anything?
It was a C tier.
Was it really?
It was, and you took it over IcyMist.
Who said it was a C tier?
I'm saying it's a C tier. I read it on Lumi Rank. You won.
What the fuck? I did not even know that was a C tier.
You won a C tier event, my boy.
I thought it was unranked.
Nah,
that's
bro.
Funny.
You handled.
I was really confused because I was there.
Yes, you won, nigga.
Because shut the fuck up. Because the weeks before, I went to a tournament that was like just as stacked. It just didn't have IcyMist. And it felt like winning the exact same tournament, except this time I had to play IcyMist. And this time when I streamed afterwards, and hella people came to my channel, was like, "Yo, good shit at that tournament. You played so well, good shit at that tournament." I was like, "Is this tournament really that big of an event?" Like, I know VG was streaming it, but I didn't even know there was that many people watching it. I didn't know that it was that high profile of an event.
Yeah, I mean, there's some players there. I mean, and you versus IcyMist in grand finals, that's something that's going to put asses in the seats. I mean, she's very good. You're very good. It was a good showdown. Why don't you tell us how you beat IcyMist to win that tournament? I'd love to know. I
mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of farming IcyMist recently. Like, I've just recently gotten very, very, like, my game plans are very solidified to where, like, if it's against a character that's really not that great, like, I don't think Samus is that great anymore, or at least against Pyra/Mythra. If I stick to my game plan, it's kind of hard for that character to do anything. Like, at the tournament a couple weeks ago, I played IcyMist, and game 1, I washed the Samus so bad to where she ended up going Greninja game 2 and 3. And then in Grands,
I didn't know she had a
Greninja. She started Greninja, then I washed the Greninja, then she went Pikachu game 2 and 3. So I was like, yeah, she really just does not want to do the Samus matchup. And then this tournament, Gamble, I played her in doubles with her partner. And her partner forced her to go Samus games 1 and 2, and she really didn't want to go Samus. And then game 3, she ended up going Rob. So that was pretty interesting. And then at Gamble in winners finals, I was like, I'm pretty sure she's not going to start Samus because it's pretty clear that she just does not want to go Samus against me. So she started Greninja. I watched the Greninja. Then she went Rob, and I've been practicing with Void's Rob all the time last week, and his Rob is really fucking good, by the way, which is really pissing me off. But I've gotten a lot better at the Rob matchup, which is why I watched the Rob too. And then she went Samus after that, and her Samus actually did a lot better this time. So yeah, she was playing pretty well that tournament. At least her Samus was against me. In grand finals, she also took a game against me with her Samus, and it was a lot more competitive. But it definitely felt very, very good to win that tournament because I felt like I was playing very well, but it also felt at the same time that I could play a lot better. And that's always a very good feeling to have going to like a big tournament like GOML.
Of course, you know, having momentum is huge. And I think it's not only important for you to have the momentum, it's important for the viewers to have the momentum too. So Cosmos, we're going to do something that's exclusive to our live viewers here on Twitch. Are you ready? I want you to pick a Japanese player. Okay?
Okay.
And then forget about it. Now I want you to pick any player, any Smash Brothers player. You have it in your head?
Yeah.
Chat, whoever guesses the character or the player he has in his head wins an automatic free care package from our friends at Advanced GG. Go. Light.
No.
Leo.
No.
Renai.
No.
Spargo.
Ooh, that's a good one. No.
Mars.
No.
Goblin.
No.
Kananabe.
No.
We already said no to Leo and Cola. Shuton.
No.
Seaman. No, ignore that one. Sonics.
No.
Yeah, Jims. Cosmos, yourself. Kep.
No.
Mutace. Mia. Tagurio. Ken. LMAO. Someone's just laughing. Riddles. Huge. Oh my. Okay. Can we stick to actual people? Meister. Tweak. Ken.
No. I can't believe you're all wrong.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Zach Ray.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
You idiots! I knew. How do you not think that? Nobody gets it now. Nobody gets it.
Favorite player.
Nobody. We'll try again later. Maybe.
That was way too obvious. Y'all are some gems in the chat. Come on, y'all knew this. That's
embarrassing. I try to give y'all something for free, and it ain't even an STD, and you still didn't take it from EE. That's shameful. We'll try again later. Okay. But you won your event. Good job. Light, although he's not here, we know he actually won a C tier himself. I have no idea who Light beat. I have no idea what the tournament was called. I have no idea when it happened. Apparently it did happen though. But Light won a tournament as well. So that bodes well for the Lights Out crew heading into GOML. You two are also teaming together. So both your confidence should be at an all-time high. But did you see that event that took place in Japan? Did you see Kowloon. Kowloon. Did you see Kowloon? And did you see that epic grand final set between Gluto and Hurt? Now, Hurt kicked his ass in winners finals, but Gluto made it very, very close and compelling on the grand final side of things. Did you get a chance to check that out?
I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep right before grand finals.
Dang, really?
To be fair, it was like 5, 6 a.m. for me.
So I mean, yeah, but Smash never sleeps.
And that's the problem.
I mean, I won't lie. I turned it off before grand finals, but but I was streaming. I had an excuse. I was interacting with people.
I mean, I just kind of expected Gluto to get washed because that matchup also seems pretty hard. And Hurt, it's like, to be honest, he's definitely just one of the best players in the entire world. Hurt, in my opinion, is one of the best, one of the most skilled players in the entire world.
Okay.
But he's playing Snake. And I personally just don't think Snake is that great of a character. So the fact that he's doing all that he can and all that he is now with Snake, just imagine what he could do with a character with way more options. Obviously, Snake still has a good amount of options. But seeing the way that he plays, I expected him just to wash Gluto, honestly. Even though Gluto's a very, very good player, he has been doing well as recently, but he's still basically known as one of the most, if not the best fundamental player in the entire game.
He's sensational. I don't disagree.
I was just honestly surprised, not super surprised, but I didn't expect it to go to game 5, a close match like that because of what happened in winners finals as well.
You know, I didn't even expect that. You know, I'm kind of disappointed in Kowloon a little bit. And let me explain why. Okay? Although Gluto and Hurt put on a masterclass in grand finals, which Hurt did get the best of them, but I appreciate how well Gluto played and adapted. I must confess, MK Leo not going to this disappointed me. I think Big Boss didn't go, Meister didn't go. I think they were all still in Japan and they just didn't show up. Apparently IcyMist got sick, Mia got sick. Well, you know what I am? I'm sick and tired of excuses, okay? Everyone in Japan, listen to me and listen to me well. Everyone wears a damn mask anyway, so what does it matter if you're sick? You're not gonna contaminate nobody. Just double up if you really think it's that bad. I need you to push through the pain, okay? Next, MK Leo talking about, I can't wait to compete again. But actually, there's a red cupcake K-pop group or whatever is in Japan. I want to go see them. Yeah, them niggas. I'm like, are you kidding me? Dog, put on a soundtrack or something while you're in the tournament. I don't want to hear nothing about something you delaying competing for that. I couldn't believe that. And you know what I mean? I don't know what happened with Meister or whatever. I'm just saying. And our only hope for NA was Goblin. All right, Goblin, you got 25th at the big tournament. I'm like, you might do all right. 17th. I'm like, Lord have mercy. And then they trolled poor Goblin so hard on Twitter. Said that little kid outdressed him. I was like, Lord have mercy, this ain't right. This is what NA has been reduced to. disrespect, and I don't like it one bit. Not one bit. So it's okay. You know what? So I was like, I said Gluto's honorary NA for this tournament. Maybe I was an honorary Frenchman. Either way, I wanted him to win. He didn't get the job done, but it's okay. Him and Hurt Masterclass, like I said. But to me, Cosmos, Smash stocks on a decline. We need something to boost the stocks back up.
I mean,
am I the only one who feels that way? It's not just the defeat of NA as of late. It's just the whole vibe is just, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, you wouldn't miss a tournament for nothing. Now I don't know who to rely on to show up.
I mean, it's like, what do we got though? Tell me that.
Damn.
What do we got at this point? Like, you got to give something for these tournaments. First of all, Japanese tournaments have no pot. Like, that's just is what it is. So obviously,
true.
People like American players like Leo and Meister are going to be less inclined to go to a tournament that's not as big as, like, say, Kaguribi. Kaguribi is still going to be like, the monetary value is in the status of you winning the event.
Yeah.
Essentially. You're not going to get that kind of status winning Kowloon. Obviously, I would still love to go to a tournament like that, but that's just probably what they feel for a tournament like that. And even here in America, there's not really that many big pot tournaments going on. Obviously, MomoCon has like a 5K pot bonus, but like
Level Up had a 10,000 one.
Yeah, Level Up Expo always does. That's why everyone should always go. Yeah. But tournaments like GOML doesn't. I don't even know if there's really anything happening in June. MomoCon has a 5K pot bonus, but I don't really even think there's that many people going to that. I know me, Tweak, Light, and Dabuz are showing up, and probably everyone else from Georgia, like Cola and stuff. Wrath, Goblin. So, but other than that, I'm not really sure. I know Sonics is not going. I'm pretty sure Spargo's not going. So there's just not really many big tournaments for people to want to go to, and it doesn't feel like you get much value off of. I won't say it's in like the Smash 4 era at the end of Smash 4's lifespan where you would gain absolutely nothing from winning tournaments.
Right.
But with the way the state of the game is now, the characters that you have to fight against, and then also seeing that tweet from Nintendo where they said that they will announce the new Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year, knowing that probably the new Smash is going to come on the next Switch, it kind of just feels like, all right, we're just going to basically cruise. We're on cruise control now until we get the new Switch and have some more information about the game. And then when the information about the game comes out, people are probably going to go into stuff more to warm up for the new game.
That's fair. I mean, I give that up. Well, there was a little bit of excitement on NA's part. I thought I am talking about, put the results up on the screen, Low Tide City. I'm not sure if you got a chance to check out Low Tide City. Obviously, we wanted to be in attendance. It just didn't quite work out with it being Mother's Day weekend and stuff coming up. But nonetheless, I watched it all of Sunday. Good little 9-hour stream. It was fun. Dabuz, the king of winning just barely not a major tournaments, gets first place, followed by Lima, who did reset him. But Dabuz did clutch it out. Mutace in third. Peebnut fourth. Geist making an appearance. Geist was a surprise. I was glad to see Geist do well. I like Geist a lot. He's a good kid. Him getting fifth. Teaser making his return. You know, he was gone for a while because he was sick, but he's a Georgia guy. Fifth place with Samus. Put SHADIC in losers bracket. And speaking of SHADIC, him and Jordan round up 7th place. Yeah, SHADIC seeded to win this tournament. Finally broke the LTC curse and did get a top 8 there, but would lose shortly after. Again, Teaser put him in losers, and then Geist took him out. So losing I know Bayo Corrin can be a little rough. I just assume those battles with Lima would leave him a little bit more battle tested than to lose to Geist. But what do you think about SHADIC getting 7th here and Dabuz winning?
It's interesting because whenever you look at it right there, you can see that he lost to both 5th place players.
Yep.
So it's like theoretically deserved 7th place because you lost to the people that were right above you. Obviously, I feel like I didn't really see the match with Geist, but I saw the match with Teaser, and it was like basically game 5 last hit, and it was really, really close, and Teaser just pulled it out. Also clutched up game 4 too, because SHADIC was up 2-1, and then Teaser pulled out game 4. There was a very tight game 4. But I don't know. I don't know how much experience either of them have in the Corrin matchup, but those are the things that like I've been talking with other people about, is that like Corrin is a good character, obviously, but a lot of people are still losing to matchup inexperience. So the fact that SHADIC lost to Geist, which is definitely a matchup that he is experienced in, I'm not really entirely sure how experienced Geist is in the Corrin matchup. And obviously, I think Corrin does pretty well against Bayonetta ever since Smash 4, and I still think she does in this game too, just because of how much control she has over the state of the game, the state of the match when you're playing it slow and forcing Bayonetta to play pretty slow. I feel like Corrin would do pretty well against Bayonetta. What's his name? I was talking to Siski at some point, and he did tell me, it was like a year ago, he did tell me that out of all my characters that I was playing back then, it was like Aegis, Inkling, and Corrin. He said that Corrin did the worst and that the matchup is really, really bad. Like Samus just destroys Corrin. So I guess because of that, I'm not surprised that Teaser beat SHADIC, but I am kind of surprised because I think it was at Genesis. SHADIC beat Yoda, which is the best Samus player right now, like by far. Like Siski is still like pretty close, but it's pretty obvious that Yoda, at least results based, is the best Samus player at the current moment, and SHADIC kind of washed him the games that he did beat him. I think it was game 5, but the games that SHADIC won, they weren't really even close. So I'm not really sure what to make of it. Maybe it was just a bad weekend. Maybe he just really wanted to top 8 and he was just gassed after it because of his curse of not getting top 8s. But I don't really think that's going to be anything that affects him going into GOML. If anything, it'll probably motivate him more to like prove people wrong and saying like, oh, SHADIC, he really isn't the real deal. Maybe his free trial period is over now and he's not a top 10 player. So I'm pretty sure if he goes to GOML, he'll probably want to show up even more and probably just destroy people that are in his path to shut people up.
Yeah, I don't think, because I saw some people saying like, well, this is, proof why you can't jump the gun or have recency bias and say that SHADIC is the best in the US. So I'm like, I mean, there's cases for tweak, there's cases for light for sure. I mean, Dabuz won the damn thing. But I mean, he still got top 8. He still got, some pretty solid wins. It's just, to me personally, it just all kind of comes down to, some days you have it, some days you don't. Not every, listen, if I'm SHADIC, I'd rather have by his standards as of late, a bad performance here than at, GOML. So I think SHADIC's going to be just fine at GOML. But Cosmos, do you know who may not be fine at GOML?
What are you talking about? Who's not going to be fine at GOML? Well,
this guy is a little bit of a wet blanket, or maybe he's a wet blanket for others. Let me bring it up on the screen in case you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about. So,
oh no,
if you haven't heard, there's a prominent TO, maybe former TO at this point. I don't know what they're going to do with his ass, who decided to have a little bit of what I would call an inappropriate response to a homeless man sleeping outside of, I don't know if it was an apartment or a venue or what, but let's take a look at what Z from Canada was up to.
Oh no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I want to know who was the one that gave him the water.
I don't know who that lady was.
Man.
And there you have it, folks. That right there is why Z will no longer be TOing, to my knowledge, and Get On My Level. A lot of backlash for that. Now, look, to Z's defense, they did come out and he did come out and apologize. And he did say this guy had been a nuisance to the community and people had co-op. How's that noise? You got a dog in there?
Yeah.
It's always something new with you, nigga. All right. Anyway, there's some people have cooperated that homeless person has been a nuisance and has caused some problems, harassed people in like a threatening manner, stuff like that. And okay, but the thing that I think did Z in here is you have to understand the court of public opinion will supersede anything. Okay. Like even if you were doing it for the right reasons, quote unquote, like I don't really think, I think there's just better ways to handle it. Throwing water on a nigga who's homeless and sleeping and just laughing is probably not going to go over well with the general Twitter public, especially in the Smash Bros. Community. Okay. Especially too when a lot of people think you're just saying this stuff to kind of save ass. All right. Now, me personally, I just don't understand, why just wake them up normally, bro. Just give them a couple taps like, hey, bro, You gotta skedaddle.
Yeah, like, the water was so unnecessary.
Yeah, you gotta skedaddle. If he gets a little, you know what I'm saying, boisterous or rowdy, just make sure you got your squad with you. Like, yo, you're not really trying to do this. And he's probably not going. He'll just trickle off on his own way. The problem that happened here was that you're laughing about it. You have a big old goofy smile on your face. And you already have a history that people will try and get at you because of stuff you've done in the past, like that they've, you know, wagged their finger at.
That's usually the big thing. Like if you do something,
you know,
that's unwarranted, they'll just always bring up your receipts to see if this is actually unwarranted to like attack you or not. That's always what ends up happening.
It's true. It never fails. So Z, I don't think you're gonna be. I mean, I don't know what your status is right now. I just know you're not. I didn't see it on that GOML event page, so I just pretty much assume you're just cooked off of that. And smart to GOML too to handle that in the background and not have to bring that front and center. Like a lot of people are demanding statements from, no, shut the hell up. Yeah, you people aren't owed shit. Just sit back and let the TOs handle everything on the backside, which it looks like they've done. So kudos to GOML. Happy about that. I don't know. Cosmos, would you bet on Z like making some triumphant comeback to the community and getting his way back in and, you know, winning over the hearts of many? Was that a bet you'd make?
Probably not. I don't know.
Probably not. So. Nigga, of course you wouldn't. That'd be the dumbest bet of your life. Unlike betting on Prize Picks. Wow, Phil, what do you mean? Well, let me tell you guys, Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million members, and none of them probably chucked water on somebody. It is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports teams and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash money. We all know May is a huge month for esports, and all of it is on Prize Picks as well. Cash in on all the exciting esports action this spring, including Counter-Strike, League of Legends, mid-season invitationals, GOML in Toronto, all that fun stuff. Me personally, I'm testing my skills on Prize Picks this season, and it's been the most exciting way to play my daily fantasy esports betting. So if you got the skills, come along with me and turn that $10 into a little $250. If you're a smasher, you know you need that. So make sure you download the app today and use code LIGHTSOUT for your first deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with Prize Picks.
I'll give it a solid out of 10.
Listen,
that was solid.
What do you want from me? It's the same fucking ad every week. All right.
I know.
What do you people want from me?
I'm not arguing.
All right, let's get into GOML. I know a lot of people want to just get right into the GOML discussion, so I will bring that up. The preliminary seeding that we have as of now, if this has changed in any way, shape, or form, by the time this video makes it to your screen or like even watching now, let me know. But as it stands right now, GOML, defending champion of last year's Sonics, is seed #1, rightfully so. Followed by SHADIC, huge boost for him. He is seed #2. Followed by Tweak, Light, MK Leo, Onin, Meister, Riddles. Those are your top 8 seeds. And then rounding out the outside, you got Cola, Dabuz, Lima, Matsunabe. So we do have some Japanese representation with him and Neo here as well. And Siski. Kananabe and Jogibu here as well. So Europe's got Siski and Tariq. So yeah, yourself right there at 22nd. So a lot of good players for sure.
Oh shit, Mars is going.
He is listed on here. That surprised the hell out of me. I think I know why Mars is going, but I probably shouldn't speak on that. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But what do you think about this seeding, my guy? I mean, you have any expectation? I saw some people saying that they weren't really a fan of it because they felt like it was done with some of the idea of, we don't want to have reoccurring matches. That's why Tweak is actually higher than Light. When I do think Light should be seeded higher than Tweak, and it would help him avoid who I think.
How would that make what reoccurring match would that happen?
I don't know. They said like just to create new matchups or something like that.
Big D's and Light's path.
Yeah, they need to switch that.
Oh
shit.
no, it was rigged.
That is
that shit was rigged, bro. That shit rigged. That shit is rigged. They put Big D in his path. Nah, bro, that's rigged.
I don't like it.
I'm saying it.
I don't like it, but you know what? Big D, as of late, his ass has been getting sauce, so he probably won't even make it to Lights. I ain't even gonna worry about that. I think Chase is actually criminally underseeded at 26. I think Chase could be a lot higher than that. I don't know what's going on with that. can maybe make the case for Ouch as well. I don't know. Karama hasn't played in forever. I don't know how Karama.
I mean, yeah, I think that's why this seeding is really interesting, because there's a lot of people that have come to this tournament that just haven't really been seen at anything for a while. Like, we haven't seen Siski in America in a long time. We obviously don't really know exactly where to put Kananabe or Yogibu.
This is Canada, to be fair, not America. But yeah.
Well, Canada's part of America. Come on, bro.
Okay.
I don't care what nobody says.
You got it.
But yeah, like Karama, I haven't seen him compete in a long time either, at least like at a major scale tournament. So I'm not really sure when the last time I saw Tarek here either. There's just a lot of names that Genesis. Like Mochinabe. There's a lot of names here that you wouldn't really know where to put them, which is probably the same kind of problem that Japan has with seeding American players going to Japan, because I don't really know how they would see them either, because you don't know how they would do against their players. But I think a lot of them just see them off of legacy, which is fine because you don't really know what to do there. But yeah, like that's probably why the seeding looks really weird, and a lot of people have a lot of problems with it, because how would other people see this? There's no real concrete way of really finding where to put every player when there's not really much that everybody has been going to.
Tell them. You speaking that gospel right now. Now, I do think, I don't think, because this is like seeding from like I think 4 days ago. So I do think there's going to be some adjustments by the time the actual tournament does get started, which I think is good.
I don't think so. I think the seeding
you think this is fine?
Stopped. Yeah, they said that seeding wasn't going to change starting Monday. So
that's the final seeding? I mean, I love my friends at GOML, but I don't know who's TOing that. That's probably a CAC special. That seeding stinks. There needs to be several readjustments to that if that is indeed the final seeding.
I want to take a look at the bracket, to be honest.
Look at those predictions. Seeding is hard. Common sense isn't. All right? Just for the record, buddy. All right? Find
Big D against Light in Canada.
That's crazy, bro. I really hope Big D gets upset before then. Just because
he's just saying it.
IcyMist is such a corny character. Big D's a great guy. I like him as a person.
He's an incredible guy.
He's a great person. But your character, my dude, that's that shit I don't like. I'm sorry, my dude. Did you see it? Did you find it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, let me link it. It looks like seeding doesn't really look much different. Let me see if Light still has to play Big D, I'll just assume that it hasn't changed. Yeah, Light still has to play Big D. So yeah, and the seeding's not going to change because it's Wednesday and the tournament starts, I guess, Saturday. So it'll be weird for people who like warmed up. Which is something that's really annoying for tournaments like this too, is like big scale tournaments are always changing their seedings to where it's basically impossible to have players prepare and prep for the actual big tournament. Because like obviously a tournament of a major scale, you want to go in knowing what players you have to play against and practice and like study, take notes, and just prepare for the matches that you have to play against. But it gets really frustrating whenever you prepare and then the day before you fly or the morning you have to fly, you look at your bracket and it's completely different and it feels like you just wasted your last 3 days prepping for the players you play against.
Yeah, they're making this shit tough because, I mean, like, I think the hardest tweak, I mean, he's either going to have to qualify for top 8, he's either going to have to go through Lima or Onan. That's going to be frustrating. They got him seeded to beat Onan too. We'll see how that goes. I'm rooting for Tweak, of course, that's my boy. But the projected top 8 would see Sonics versus Light, which is great for Light. I don't know why Sonics is favorite here. Oh, that's by seeding. And then SHADIC, Tweak. So I actually think if this seeding is projected, if it goes according to plan, I think winners finals has actually a real chance of being Light versus Tweak. They're gonna have to Tweak certainly is gonna have to overcome some hard matchups, and SHADIC has been that guy who has been taking out names who have been beating him consistently in the past. So if they do match up, that's gonna be hard for Tweak. But I could see that actually happening, which would be sick. And an old GOAT down there, MK Leo, he'll make a solid losers run too. Don't worry about old GOAT. He'll figure it out. There's a lot of actually excitement with this bracket. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think GOML's going to be.
It's going to be a great tournament.
A 10 out of 10 event. I hope you can.
It's just interesting though because in pools, Leo had to play against Armadillo, the Lucario player.
Oh, he had close grand finals with him before, like a couple months ago too. So that would be That'd be a little tough, but it's Leo. He's got more of a hand on stuff now. I think he'll be. I mean, stop going to those damn Red Velvet concerts and etc. Anyway, don't get me started on that. But I think it'll be a good tournament for sure. I will be watching. I know you guys will be watching. And Cosmos, I hope you outperform your seed considerably, my guy. So looking forward to it. So
I will.
That is our GOML preview. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. And that was pretty much the Smash portion of the podcast. So we got a couple other topics we would like to dive into. We'll start with you, Big Cosmos. Now, you told me that there's some sort of VTuber drama that's sweeping the land, and apparently it's got our boy Shizzy is involved in it too. Like, what's going on with that, bro?
All right, I mean, so first of all, let's preface this by saying there is VTuber drama every other day, probably every single day. There's always something going on in that
sensitive
community.
Group.
And they know it too. They talk about it all the time. It's like, yo, there's always drama going on here.
Is this the thing where Shizzy tweeted out, woke up to bullshit, standing on business. I meant everything. I'm not sorry. And I'm not going to lie and say I'm for PR. The VTubing community needs to change. The VTuber fans are way worse. This is going too far, gotten out of hand. And this is where I'm ending it. K, love you, bye. Is that it? Is this his VTuber model?
I mean, that was like the third or fourth tweet that he made. So it started way before that, because at some point he just decided to choose violence and made a video saying that essentially all VTubers are trash and fake and racist, essentially. Because even
what the heck? keep going.
But yeah, so he basically said that like all VTubers are like fake people. They don't care, and they're racist because all of their models, or 99.9% of their models, are not black, and they're always trying to turn anybody into Asian or looking white. They're basically essentially whitewashing people, which is essentially what he said. And like obviously a lot of the people are white, and people don't hold accountability to the people that basically say nigga, because a lot of VTubers just end up saying nigga casually for fun. Like not casually for fun, but in a funny context. And like when people do try to attack them, they like say that they're ruining like the their community, and they're like taking it too seriously when it was like an accident or a joke or something like that. So he's basically saying like which I'm not gonna lie, some of the things he was saying was reasonable, but the way he presented everything and the way he was attacking every single person, first of all, you don't want to generalize an entire community. The way he was attacking everybody was definitely what got people really upset, because they're like, obviously not everybody's fucked up in the VTuber community. But he was basically saying that like everybody except like 5 VTubers, which there's like basically a trillion VTubers, there's probably 20 VTubers being spawned every single second.
Yeah.
He's basically saying that they're all fake and racist people, which is essentially why people were attacking him. And then not only that, it's also a thing that it's like culture, or just something that you're not supposed to do, where if somebody has a VTuber model, you're not supposed to quote unquote dox them by showing their face. And he showed one of the most popular VTubers from one of the most popular VTuber companies' face in the beginning of his video.
Oh,
which is why they were like, oh, that's fucked up, essentially. And it's like, that's something that he quote unquote can be sued for because it's like infringement on their property or something like that. I don't know the specifics about that, but people were very upset about that. And then it's like, on top of that, he didn't give a fuck. He just kept double downing, and he made a lot of troll videos of troll apologies saying, I'm sorry that I don't give a fuck about this shit. Fuck you guys. That's basically essentially how his apologies were. And then first of all, I don't understand attacking an entire community like ever, because you're never gonna win. You never win scenarios like that, ever. I don't understand why you would ever attack an entire, doesn't matter if it's a Smash community, FTC, League of Legends, VTuber, doesn't matter if it's the potato farming community, you're never gonna win against an entire community. You lose. And then the fact that like he was doubling down on everything, and just like people are going to look at receipts, and they found receipts of him being a fucked up person in the past, and they're bringing that up and they're saying, hey, this guy's actually fucked up, we should get him out of wherever he is. And that's obviously gonna happen. And then not only that, at some point, I think it was like yesterday or something, his like ex-girlfriend came out and said that his last relationship was like toxic or something, and that he had to account for that and then make a tweet longer for that, like clearing that up. It's like you only cause problems when you attack somebody when you attack multiple people that don't really even need to be attacked, because obviously not everybody in the VTuber community are racist. Obviously, you can point out one thing and be like, hey, this person's fucked up. Other people shouldn't be doing this. Take this as an example. And that's it. But if you take an example and say, all y'all niggas are like that, all y'all niggas are fucked up, fuck you all niggas, y'all niggas need to fix your shit. Right, you can't do that. You can't do that.
I'm trying to still get this ad money, nigga. Calm down.
I mean, I'm basically saying what he said word for word, so you definitely can't play the video on stream, bud.
Right. I played it a little bit, then stopped it. I didn't realize it was had some vulgar stuff, which we don't condone on this stream or this podcast, by the way.
100%. So yeah, obviously it's like there's a lot of drama in the VTuber community, but obviously there's a lot of really nice people and a lot of really cool people in there too. And sure. it's also in general a pretty chill community. People just like they watch their VTubers and they just support their VTubers and they kind of just go on with their day. And it's basically Shizzy or 6 Seconds just attacking those people, not just the VTubers, but the people that watch them too, and saying that they're both fucked up on both ends, essentially.
Wow. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't put in like, I mean, I saw like Mighty Keith and a couple other people like responding to some of the stuff. I didn't like watch the video and I didn't follow up on what's going on. You know, originally I thought it was like some drama over the Pokemon cipher not being released yet, because we still waiting on that shit. So that's initially what I thought, but that's crazy, man. You know, I've never been like a VTube person myself, never had a desire to be a VTuber. And the only time I actually watched a VTuber was like when Mango went through that weird phase of like VTubing as a girl. That was strange. I
remember that phase.
I don't know if I've been back to the stream since, but nonetheless.
I mean, one of the things that Shizzy said is that all VTubers are like probably also 65-year-old men just hiding behind a screen.
There could be
behind a model.
There could be a couple of cases of that. You know?
There's definitely a couple of them, but you're not going to say that the general mass of them are. That's why he's getting attacked.
Right. I'm not here to start a war with the VTubing community, okay? Big Phil got no problems with you. You do whatever you want.
You do not.
All right? You do whatever you want if that's what you want to do. You know, Shizzy, that's my guy too. I'm not going to lie. I hope they can all find a way to rectify this situation and stop all the malice and hate that fuels the internet, because let me tell you something, we got plenty of that already. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Let's talk a little ball, man. You know, a couple people like when we talk a little ball. Have you been keeping up with the playoffs, Cosmos? Huh? I can't hear you.
Can you not hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
I said I have.
You have?
In a very depressing manner. Maybe that's why you didn't hear me.
Is any team sticking out to you?
Dude, the Nuggets are gonna win again. They're just gonna win again. It doesn't matter how close people get, the Nuggets are just gonna win again. That's just the reality of the scenario.
Well, I think I think the Nuggets are definitely getting through Minnesota. All the momentum is there. They can't stop Jokic. Now Jokic is like, oh yeah, I am an MVP. Let me play one. And that's it. I think what a lot of people are not accounting for, though, this doesn't give the Nuggets a trip into the finals. There is still either OKC or the Mavs. And keep this in mind. It's 2-2 between the Mavs and OKC. OKC beat the Nuggets 3 out of 4 times.
3-2 between?
No. It's 2-2. It's 2-2. 2-2 between the Mavs and OKC. I think they might play again tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
But the OKC beat the Nuggets like 3 out of 4 times in the regular season. So they're not out the woods yet. Like, I think they come out of this series. But
didn't the Timberwolves do that too to the Nuggets?
No, the Nuggets have a positive record against the T-Wolves in the regular season. So that's why, yeah.
Maybe it's just the last game they lost.
Yeah, but I don't know. You know, it's hard, man, because I see all I know is whoever comes out the West is winning the championship, because the Cavs, they're not going to get past the Celtics, and the Celtics are bummed. The Cavs don't have Donovan Mitchell because he's hurt right now. And then you got the barely hanging on by a thread Knicks, who I think will beat the Pacers. None of these teams can stack up to can stack up to any of the teams coming out the West in a sustained series. I think the Timberwolves would beat the Celtics. I think the Nuggets would definitely beat the Celtics. They would have beat them last year too. I think the Mavs would beat the Celtics, okay? Maybe OKC would lose. That's it. If the Knicks were healthy, I'd give them a good shot to get out the East, but they ain't healthy. So all your Nick little gems out there, they ain't healthy. They ain't doing nothing, okay? If you're a smart man, now my money, since my Clippers got eliminated unceremoniously, I'm rooting for the Mavs right now. I like Kyrie. I like Luka. I hope they go all the way.
Yep.
But smart money says Denver goes back-to-back and defends their championship. A modern-day Chicago Bulls, a modern-day Golden State of 2017. That's just what we're looking at right now, folks. That's just the way I see it.
I just really did not expect the Mavs to struggle with the Thunder this much. And like, they do have a lot of good players, but they're a very because they're a very young team, so they're very inexperienced, and they got Kyrie and Luka on the same team. Balling. They both balling. So the fact that the series is tied, I don't think that if the Mavs do end up winning, because I do think they'll end up clutching out the set. I thought that was 3-2 Thunder. So now that I know that it's actually 2-2, I do think that they're going to end up clutching out the set. But I don't know if they're going to be able to be, because they're going to have to be extremely exhausted after that set, after that series. So going against Denver in there, because Denver's also going to be the first or the higher seed. Yeah, they're going to be the higher seed. So they're going to have to play multiple games at Denver, high altitude. They're going to be struggling. I don't know if they're going to be able to take 4 games out of 7 games against Denver. Like, obviously, I do. Kyrie is a magician. He's a magician. He does God's work on the ball. But Luka is God.
No one's God except the Almighty.
No, sorry.
He is a basketball.
Jokic.
Jokic.
Okay.
He's very good. I'll say that. He's very good. Look, the Mavs need Kyrie to be more aggressive. I know he defers sometimes to Luka, and they've kind of figured that out throughout this regular season and these playoffs, but they need Kyrie. Kyrie is a scorer first. You can't be getting 9 points out of Kyrie. Even that last game that they played, Kyrie and Luka played like ass, and they still almost won. Like, it was like the last 2 minutes they let it get away from them. You get both those guys just giving you decent, efficient ball, they're going to win the next two. I don't care if they're playing in OKC, Dallas, Timbuktu, I don't care. The Mavs in 6. That's all that's going to be. So, room for the Mavs. Okay. When we revisit this next week, it'll be interesting to see where we are. But my predictions are we'll have conference finals taking place between the Mavs and the Nuggets, and then the Knicks and the Celtics. So, we shall see how that goes.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that does sound about right.
Yeah. With that said, though, guys, I know a lot of you from a couple of podcasts ago were like, talk about Hunter x Hunter. We want to know what your takes are with Hunter x Hunter. I am more than happy to tell you that my full Hunter x Hunter take, my full Hunter x Hunter review will actually be taking place after this podcast is over. So you're watching it live, make sure you stick around because I'm going to stay live. I'm going to talk about Hunter x Hunter. We're going to go arc from arc. But I will give the podcast a little bit of a taste. What do I rank this anime overall in its totality?
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. Out of 10. In its totality, I give Hunter x Hunter a 7 out of 10. No, you know what? No. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. But that
motherfucker was about to say Hunter x Hunter was a 7 out of 10.
It's 8.
I'm not tuning into your stream, bro. You can do that by yourself.
But I did that to prove a point. It's an 8 out of 10. But it goes to show you just how one arc, which dragged on, I mean, it dragged like an old man's nuts heading to a bath. Just dragged. Painfully, might I add. It goes to show you how one arc can really flip a whole anime on its head. Chimera arc was trash. It was terrible. Pacing was stupid. So much shit didn't make sense. It was absolutely garbage. And we're going to talk about that post this podcast. I just wanted to give that out there and give people a little taste of what I thought about that. But
Bros yapping.
Thank God for the last little 24 episode arc with the chairman election. Shouts to Hisoka and Lumi. Let those two up because bro, that shit was hard. So I just want to say that.
Bro would hate One Piece.
Maybe one day. But with that said, I didn't hate this podcast. I had a lot of fun on it too. I hope you did as well, Cosmos. Hope you're
Yeah, it was
excited.
fun.
Yeah, hope you're excited for GOML, man. And guys, like I said, we like to cover a variety of topics. You guys sucked ass at the beginning of this podcast. So here's what I'm going to do. Name whatever comments you leave. Make sure you include, oh, by the way, EE, I think your favorite player right now is blank. And I'll pick one of those and you'll win the Advanced GG. And you can head over to Advanced GG as well and use our code LIGHTSOUT for 10% off of your total order. 10% off your whole order. That's pretty damn awesome. So with that said, like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibes. And we will catch you next week for the GOML Fallout. Peace.